Imagine building a billion-dollar empire before you even have a single product to sell. That's the pretty counterintuitive journey we're diving into today with Glossier. We're going to unpack how a simple beauty blog turned into, what, a $1.8 billion company, all by mastering this idea of social value and community building before any money changed hands.
Yeah, it really turns conventional wisdom on its head, doesn't it? Emily Weiss started Into the Gloss back in 2010. It was just a blog, no products. But by 2021, Glossier, the company that grew out of it, hit that $1.8 billion valuation. And it was precisely because she prioritized something different, a really engaged community. While everyone else was pushing product, 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 she was cultivating relationships.
Okay, so totally against the grain, just conversations first. But, I mean, for a lot of businesses, that feels like a huge risk, right?
Yeah.
How did they justify pouring resources into something that wasn't, immediately bringing in cash? What made it different?
Well, that's the shift in thinking, isn't it? Most companies would look at those readers, the ones not buying anything yet, and say, okay, $0 value.
Hmm.
But Glossier saw something else. They recognized these three key types of pre-transactional value.
Pre-transactional value. That's
Yeah.
interesting. So value before a sale, what exactly are we talking about?
Exactly. Worth is generated even without a purchase. First, think trust capital. All those honest discussions, those top-shelf interviews where people got really personal about routines, and they actually responded to comments genuinely. That built enormous credibility, pure trust.
Okay, that makes sense. And the second, you mentioned market intelligence.
Right, market intelligence. I mean, readers were openly sharing what they loved, what frustrated them, what they wished existed in beauty products. It was like thousands of people doing free market research for them.
That's gold for any company, especially a startup.
Absolutely. Free R&D, straight from the target audience. And the third piece, maybe the most powerful, was the community infrastructure. This wasn't just an email list. It was a real network of engaged beauty fans, kind of ready and waiting.
Right, a built-in audience. So they have this community, this pre-transactional value. How did they flip the switch? How did that turn into, the billion-dollar business? This is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, this is where the strategy really pays off. When Glossier actually launched products in 2014, it wasn't just another brand popping up. It felt like a movement. Their bestseller, Boy Brow, that literally came directly from community chats about what people wanted for their eyebrows. Product launches weren't just corporate announcements, they were almost community events. Customer feedback shaped the products. That's community-driven product development.
And then they did something really smart with their representatives, right? How was that different from standard influencer marketing?
Totally different. It wasn't about paying big names. They tapped into their actual community members. Passionate users became representatives. They built their own little mini communities, earned commissions, but crucially, their recommendations felt authentic because they were authentic users.
And the results speak for themselves. You said, what, 70% of growth from peer-to-peer?
A huge 70%. That's the power of user-generated marketing. Customer photos, their reviews that became the marketing, even the packaging, that pink bubble wrap pouch, became this Instagrammable thing. Free advertising everywhere.
So they weren't just looking at sales figures. What metrics did they track?
They looked deeper, things like comment engagement rates on the blog, product suggestions coming from the community, how much user-generated content was being created, even tracking when customers helped each other out. That points to what we call the social value multiplier effect.
Okay, the social value multiplier effect. Break that down a bit. How does one engaged person create multiple kinds of value?
Think about it. One active community member could give product feedback, create authentic marketing content, build a mini community around their own recommendations,
Right.
offer support to other users, which cuts down customer service costs, and beta test new stuff. It's like one person contributing in 5 different ways. That's the multiplier.
Wow. Okay, so let's bring this home. What are the big lessons here for, anyone listening, regardless of their industry? First, start with connection. Build community before selling. How does that look outside of beauty, say, in B2B?
Great question. It means creating a space around the problems your audience shares. Maybe it's a forum for engineers to discuss challenges or webinars focused purely on industry pain points. Not a sales pitch. Build that trust capital, just like Glossier did, before you even mention your solution.
Okay. Then value creation before value capture.
Mhm.
Investing in community that doesn't pay immediately. How do you sell that internally? It feels counterintuitive.
You have to track those other metrics we mentioned. Show the long-term ROI. Look, our customer acquisition cost is lower because of word of mouth. Our support tickets are down because peers help each other. Our R&D is faster because of direct feedback. You demonstrate that these engaged non-buyers are actually huge assets over time.
Right. Shift the focus from immediate sales to long-term asset building. And the last one, enable and amplify. What does that mean practically?
It means making it easy for people to contribute. Build the platforms, reward participation, maybe recognition, maybe commissions like the reps, and create feedback loops. You're essentially empowering your community to become co-creators and partners in your brand's growth.
It really flips the script. Glossier's story suggests your most valuable customers. Well, they might be the ones who haven't actually bought anything from you yet.
Exactly. And that leaves a big question for every business listening, doesn't it? It's not really if you should invest in this kind of social value, but how you can do it authentically for your own audience. Focus on building real community value first, and, as Glossier showed, the financial value is much more likely to follow.